Okay.
Welcome to this Mantra Breathe, the Saturday after Christmas. We're so happy to have you with us. It was a quiet Christmas here for us. We had just got back from 6 weeks of work, travel, and so we were pretty wiped out. Took us a couple days to reboot, but now we're back on track. And Christmas was very sweet and quiet for us. And we walked around. We have a really nice neighborhood. We walked around. We went to a movie. We saw this movie about a ping pong player. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. So we're back in the swing, and we'll be here until the India Quest in March. So mantra breathing's back on track very well. We had to miss a couple mantra breathes because it was 2 a.m. in Bali, and we we were we were sort of drooping at 2 a.m. So we did one or two of them like that, but then the last one we couldn't quite make it. But we're back on track. So, what we wanted to talk about today is divine grace. Everybody knows that word, grace. We usually associate it with, saying a blessing over a meal. We give grace, we receive the grace of the meal. So I think most of us have a sense of uh, some grace in our life. But I think what we're talking about today is something deeper, something greater, something bigger. It's like a grace that um, kind of envelops your whole world. It envelops your whole daily life, your life in this incarnation, and we can see the bigger picture, and we can receive the blessings of peace. Some of you, what that was your intention, to have more peace, more harmony, more joy. Well, that would be grace. When everyone that you meet and everyone in your family and everyone you encounter, you experience this peace, uh, the absence of conflict. You're in total harmony. You don't have any fear, guilt, or anger. You've transcended those things. I would say that is divine grace. And that's what we're after. And that's what Sandra and I truly believe is possible. Um, yeah, so we give our attention to that on a daily basis.
Okay.
Okay.
This is from our new book, the one chapter on grace in the book, The Only Answer. Grace is a supernatural power for miracles. Now, we all want miracles, so we have to accept grace. You are saved by grace through faith. So, faith activates God's grace. So, the more faith you have, the more you get the grace. You must accept the gift of faith and the gift of grace. So, that means receiving it. You have to be good at receiving, okay? Declare that you're constantly being supplied with one grace after another. Decree that God's grace is effectual in your life. Realize that grace has the power to heal your body of any problem. So, this is the truth. Grace is a soul healing power. By its holy influence, your soul turns toward the Father, Mother, God. Grace is like a spiritual blessing that can empower you to be strengthened inwardly. If you let in the grace, you get spiritually strong. It's the free, unearned favor and mercy of God. That's why grace is something that's just given to you, and it will heal you. So may grace and peace and perfect well-being be multiplied. So the Course in Miracles says that God's grace is given to you and you should claim it. So let's all do that right now. We claim God's grace. This grace is the answer to all despair, it says, because in it lives the remembrance of God's love. His gift of grace is more than just an answer. It will restore all certainty to what love's meaning is. However, grace cannot come until the mind prepares itself for true acceptance. Okay, so that's what I want Marcus to talk about. There's a lesson that says, by grace I live, by grace I am released. So it's saying that grace cannot come until the mind prepares itself for true acceptance. So I want Marcus to speak a little bit about how we can prepare our mind for the acceptance of grace.
Oh, you want me to talk about
Well, yeah.
She gives me the tough question.
No, but I can, if you want me to
No.
finish this first, or you want to.
No, I can comment.
Yeah.
So, okay, preparing the mind. What does that mean? Well, the mind is full of stuff, right? And some of the stuff not so pleasant. Fear, guilt from past things we did. And anger, that's something in our mind. We use it when we feel threatened, when we feel fear. Usually we use anger as a defense mechanism, but that's not so effective. The more we examine anger, the more we see it doesn't really protect us. It actually worsens the situation. So, okay, so preparing your mind would be the willingness to look at yourself and ask, well, what is it that I have fear, guilt, and anger still in my consciousness about? And you have to process that out. You have to let go of those because that will block the grace. So when it says prepare your mind, it's you're actually casting out from your mind the things that are not grace and the things that would block your awareness of the grace, right? So, a strong dose of fear, guilt, and anger will probably be pressed. So it's hard to be appreciating this state of gratitude when you have those more negative, heavy emotions going on in yourself. So, okay, well, how do we clear our mind then? How do we clear our mind? Well, first you have to realize what's in it and own it, and then you have to decide, do I want to keep harming myself? Do I want to keep grace away from me? Would I rather be in a state of the flow with the divine forces? So you have to make an inventory, which is very good at the end of the year. And I think some of you said, 2025 had a lot of struggles and trials and not so pleasant situations. And we feel a bit the same way. We learned a lot from 2025. We learned tremendous lessons in 2025, but we want to reboot ourselves back in a state of grace and harmony and acceptance. So it's about forgiving the past, forgiving the players, all the players in your past, all those people that, were a bit not aligned with you. It's about forgiving all those people and taking your part, really, like taking your part that you attracted and created those scenarios, right? So look, nobody's making you wrong. Forgiveness, in the Course in Miracles, it says forgiveness is the recognition that what you thought your brother did to you never occurred. So we have to rise above the personality level and get to this higher self level in which there's a kind of a stillness, silence, non-judgment, non-critical place where you're in this stillness, this silence, this reality. And we think that the mantra breathing, and we also do a lot of mantras during the week, that helps us clear our mind. So the mantra breathing is here to help us clean that out, to help us prepare our mind for the grace, right? We want the grace. The grace is given to us. You know, there's a lesson in the Course in Miracles, two lessons. It's like 168, I think, and 169. Your grace is given me. I claim it now. And by grace I live. By grace I am released. So those are very important lessons. If you're a student of A Course in Miracles, you should look them over. And this lesson 168, your grace is given me, I claim it now. It's very powerful. And it says here, God speaks to us. Shall we not speak to him? He is not distant. He makes no attempt to hide from us. We try to hide from him and suffer from deceptions. That would be fear, guilt, and anger. Those would be deceptions, right? So when we're in fear, guilt, and anger, we don't feel like talking to God because we think God's going to condemn us or punish us or something, which is not true. It's like you can take those fear, guilt, and anger to your altar and lay them down, and the divine forces will help you release them. He remains entirely accessible. He loves his son. There is no certainty but this, yet this suffices. He will love his son forever. Now, ladies, please include yourself when Course in Miracles says son. That's the sonship. That's all human beings. It's not a gender thing. So he will love his son, his children forever. When his mind remains asleep, that means when your mind remains asleep, he loves him still. And when his mind awakes, he loves him with a never-changing love. So the divine source is just waiting for us to wake up, you know? And now when I say prepare the mind or clean the mind, it's like you have to do an inventory and you have to put out those things that are blocking your peace. And only you can know what those things are. Everybody has some things, personal lie, pet peeves, favorite irritations, you know, patterns of dysfunction. You know, everybody has something that they have to let go of, or they have to own and clean it up and change their thoughts. And that's what the process of this spiritual work is. Certainly the process of breath work is to examine the mind. Now, mostly you're doing that on your own in these group sessions, but when you do a private session, it's you and us together. We ask the questions to see what's in your mind in order to release and change the thoughts that are causing you pain and suffering. So then when you clear all that, the grace, you don't actually have to do anything to have the grace. The grace is provided, but you have to undo a lot to make the space in your mind to receive it. So when I say undo, that means if you have fears about things, you have guilt about things, you have anger about things, you have to look at that and change your mind. You have to get all that crap out of there. And then when you've cleaned the mind and you've emptied the mind, grace can come in. Grace is already there, but it's blocked with those emotions. So, yeah. All right, Sandra, did I answer your question? How to prepare your mind?
Thank you. Well, Amaji, our female teacher, she says that grace is the factor that brings the right result to you at the right time in the right proportions to your actions. She says dedication is the most essential aspect. The more dedicated you are, the more open you remain. And the more open you are, the more love you experience. And the more love you experience, the more grace you get. So that goes in a circle. You have to be open to receive the love, to receive the grace. So grace is openness. This transforms your mind into a better channel through which divine energy can flow. The flow of the Shakti and its expression through your actions is grace. Okay. So I think the last thing I want to say is that the Course in Miracles says that, just want to read one more thing what it said here. Yeah, his gift of grace is more than just an answer. It will restore all certainty to what love's meaning is. Okay. So that is really important, I think. What would
It restores love's meaning.
Right. And what would seem to need 1,000 years can easily be done in one instant by the grace of the Divine Mother. I like that line.
Yeah.
Her healing miracles belong to you. She knows your needs and gives grace to meet them. So I think that's really important that you can have the Divine Mother's grace. And now I want, when you lie down, please take a little notepad with you and a pen. So in case
I'm not
you see anything.
quite finished talking yet.
And I want to read this. I want to read this when they're lying down.
So you'll read that when they're lying down. Yeah. And yeah, this lesson, your grace has given me, I claim it now. It has such beautiful language. God loves his son. That's us. Request him now to give the means by which we will have this grace. The world will disappear and vision will come to us. For in grace you see a light that covers all the world in love, and watch fear disappear from every face. Okay, so I'm going to watch fear disappear from all your faces as hearts rise up and claim the light as yours. So when you're breathing, claim this grace. That's the lesson. God's grace is given to us, but we have to claim it. And when we claim it, we're saying we value peace and joy more than all of our BS, right? All of our fear, guilt, and anger. And we're willing to let go of all that. We're also willing to let go of the need to be right. If we're in a state of anger and we need to be right, well, maybe it's better if we're wrong and we admit it, and then we can let go of the anger, right? So we let go of these things, and then the light comes in. For in grace you see a light that covers all the world in love, and you watch fear, guilt, and anger disappear from every face as hearts rise up and claim the light as theirs. That's what we're doing today. You guys are claiming this light. What now remains that heaven be delayed an instant longer? What is still undone when your forgiveness rests on everything? So that would be the ultimate harbinger, invitation to grace. If we can all in this mantra breathe, let forgiveness rest on everything, everyone, all the people in our life, all the people we've had conflicts with, all of the things we did that we regretted. We got to let the grace rest on us too. We may have made some big mistakes that ended up in disaster, right? So even though I made a mistake, I still completely love and accept myself. I forgive myself. At the moment, I didn't know any better. So what? We've got to claim the grace now and let go of the past. And if we can do that and let forgiveness rest on everything, the grace is ours and we can claim it because we don't have any blocks. We've prepared our mind to receive it. So let's make that the theme of this mantra breathe. So Sandra, you wanted to read some things?
Yeah.
So everybody can start to lie down, and Sandra wants to read a few things while you're lying down. And after she reads those, I think I'm going to recite this Divine Mother Ode, The Wings of Your Grace. That's also in the book on this chapter on grace. So I'll recite that, and then we'll play the music while you're breathing. But right now you can lie down and start to breathe.
Right. So one of my colleagues named Connie Huber wrote this book, Divine Mother Healing, that I really like. And she wrote a whole chapter on divine grace, which I'm going to read while you breathe. And we'll just wait a second till everybody is ready. And this law of divine grace is like a guarantee that you're always supported by the universe. I think that you want to get that the grace will support you, the universe will support you. Okay, so we'll start breathing, and I'll read this one page, and then Marcus will do a poem, and then we'll put on the Messiah, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the order of things.
All right.
In a state of grace.
Yeah, so let's start.
We're inviting it in. So let's all together, there's 17 of us on this call. I think 17 of us can muster enough energy that we can call in this divine grace and we can actually receive it. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Breathe.
so let's do that.
Breathe into your heart. The wholeness of divine grace is completely filling my energy field now. Divine grace is pouring into my energy field now. Breathe it in. It's filling every place in my multi-level energy system with the presence of divine grace. Divine grace is opening more grace in my energy system, completely immersing me in the presence of divine grace. I accept divine grace within me now on every level.
I like that. I accept it.
Yeah, breathe it in.
It's already there. You just have to accept it.
Yeah, divine grace is permeating, penetrating, and saturating my energy field with the holy presence of divine grace. Divine grace is opening within every particle, atom, molecule, cell, point, place, and space within my entire energy flow now.
Yeah, I want to say about the elements, your breath itself is breathing in grace, the sacred elements, air, fire, water, earth, space. We really are very close to honoring those in Bali and in India. And your breath itself is the divine. And it's an energy of grace. It is something given by your creator to maintain your life. And what more gracious could that be? It's like you could probably live without food for a few weeks or water for a few days, but you could not live without air for more than 5 or 6 minutes, right? So air in our breath is the it's the contact with the divine source. It's the direct contact with the divine source. And that's why breath work's so powerful, because it eliminates the gap in your mind between the divine realms and the physical realms. So when we use our breath to take in this grace, it comes.
And life will become gentler and easier and smoother if you accept this grace. More and more wholeness of divine grace is filling me again and again. Wholeness of divine grace is pouring more divine grace into me right now. I am lifted, open, cleansed, and freed in the wholeness of divine grace. Divine grace is opening again and again into me and into all areas of my life and gracing my entire energy field. Divine grace is bathing me on all levels of my life expression. Divine grace is renewing me and sustaining me in a life that's blessed with divine grace. I am living in divine grace as I move through my life. I am lifted, open, cleansed, and freed in divine grace. Divine grace is opening again and again within me now and gracing my entire existence. My life is now operating under the law of divine grace. I'm opening in wholeness, moving in grace, moving in grace. Thank you, Divine Mother, and so it is.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I wanted to recite this ode to the Divine Mother. It's number 10 in my odes to the Divine Mother. It's called The Wings of Your Grace, The Wings of Your Grace. Speak into me, O Mother of the universe, as I sit waiting for the real thoughts of truth to come into my mind from the vast oceans of your inspiration. Help me to erase falsity from myself and correct my thinking that keeps me preoccupied with my past. I am on the edge of that final leap into you. Give me that nudge I need to let go of that false footing I work so hard to maintain. Now I am ready to soar into the open space of your infinite possibilities. My wings have long awaited this final leap, this one decision to trust in your complete care to sustain me in all of my actions of life. The breath of you fills and lifts these wings of my faith with the sure atmosphere of total support. So my flight is instantly realized. I can glide now on the clouds of your love. I dive and then rise into the joy of your firmament and dart across the horizon of your distant snow-covered hills. I transport myself to foreign lands and light in the hearts of strangers. I console the sad and add happiness to the air of good hope. All these I can do with the wings of your grace that you attached to my aspiring heart eons ago. You give me my real thoughts that soar to meet me, my Mother Divine. So that's the wings of your grace. And with that, I'm going to end the talk and start the music.